Hi everybody, today is Wednesday the 12th. I'm going to talk about today more about adoption and issues. I know that there have been studies done about bonding, about how when the child is taken immediately from the mother at birth, that the child does not get the chance to bond instantly with anybody. As a normal child, when you give birth, they put the baby on you, and the child, gets that chance to immediately bond. Studies have shown that children who are put up for adoption, they don't get that chance, and especially children who was like me. I was sick, so I was not immediately placed for adoption. It took 7 weeks for me to get into a placement because I was too sick. There's also been studies done that a lot of adopted children, that the mothers go through extreme amount of stress when they're pregnant, and this can affect the child in utero and can have long-term effects on the child as it's growing up. So if the mother is, let's say homeless, or going through a bad relationship, or in a stressful home situation, not eating properly, not getting enough prenatal care, it can also affect this child after it's born, up in to its teenage years, and it's traumatic for the baby in the womb as well, and can have long-term effects on the child as it grows up. There's a lot that plays into adoption that a lot of people don't know, and I think that before you adopt, that I'm not saying that we shouldn't adopt. I think adoption is a good thing because there's a lot of children out there that need good families and need love, but I think that you really need to know what you're getting into before you get into it, so that you know what you're going to possibly face. Like I said before in videos before, not every adoption turns out to be an adoption that turns out with a child that has problems. Some turn out fine, but studies do show that there is a lot that do not, and a lot of children that struggle. I think that adoption agencies should be more proactive about talking to parents that are about ready to adopt about these things. I read a study about people who do international adoptions and the problems that the kids face that are being adopted internationally, especially the ones that are older, like say you're getting a 5 or 6 year old from Japan. What they go through is sometimes harder than a child that you may adopt from America. The cultural difference, sometimes they have a harder time than a kid that you may adopt from here. Done a lot of research on this, a lot of statistics, because this interests me, because I had such a hard time with adoption. I think now there's much more known when up, there wasn't that much known about how to help children like me, that had the issues I did with adoption. I don't think it's a situation where you adopt and your kid has problems, everything's lost, and there's no help for them. I think there is help. I think it needs to be done immediately, that you don't wait. I think there's ways to go about it, ways to tell your child you're adopted, that you don't sugarcoat it, you don't, as I said before, when you tell your child, when you're telling an 8-year-old that they're adopted, and you're telling you're special, you're sent from God to us, and I could promise you that that child is taking that in, but doesn't comprehend that they're thinking, they might not tell you this, but they're thinking, it just doesn't feel special that my mom didn't want me, so there's other ways to go about this. And once your child does start to show signs of detachment, which I showed, I immediately, as a baby, I didn't like to be held, I didn't like to be touched, I didn't bond. My father says in his book that anytime any kind of eye contact or cuddling was done with me, I didn't want it. When you smiled at me, there was no smiling back. There's ways to help children like me. I don't think the way to help is to send the child off when they start, to these children's homes and all this other places. I think there's alternative help. I think there should be more groups like me that can help parents like the people who adopt, so that we're able to help you guys handle this, since we've been through it, and be able to help you guys kind of get through this without the destruction results that my parents had with me. I really don't know a way to put it. And again, I'm not bashing adoption. My goal is to reach out to the people that are having problems with their children as they are growing up. The people who have younger babies right now, they don't want to hear my story because they don't want to think that this is going to happen to their child. They're happy, they have this new baby, everything's going to go fine. They don't want to hear it. But it's a real possibility. So, but people don't want to hear anything negative. But it's not negative, These children are going to feel these things, and they're not bad feelings. They're valid, they're valid feelings. There's nothing wrong with these feelings. So why is that negative? Why should that be a negative thing? So it's all about how you feel about handling that. Listen to your kid. Don't make them feel like how they feel about adoption is wrong. It's very important that when they start expressing how they feel about adoption, how you make them feel that that's okay, that I don't know, like, listen to them. I felt like I wasn't listened to. I felt like my feelings were wrong. I shouldn't feel that way because I was special and I was adopted, and I was loved, and I should appreciate it. And I think the most important thing is to make sure to listen and let the child cry, let the child be upset, let the child be, you know. Um, so I think that's very important. Anyways, that's it for now. Be back later with more, I guess, the more I think about it. I hope everyone has a good day. Bye.